Hi, this is Fran Sisco. I had an experience with a hate crime, one that happened and one that was avoided. I was about 30 years old at the time. I owned a big store, sold toys, sporting goods, baby items like cribs and carriages, and and toys. And in walked one day a guy who was kind of burly looking. He was a little bit taller than me. He asked for a gift, like a toy, for his nephew, 12 years old. And I suggested to get a bat, a bat for a 12-year-old. It was cheaper. And while I bent down to get the bat to show him, he reached in the box next to it, and then he came up over my head, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw him come down on my head, and he hit me once to put me out, and twice more while I was laying there in a pool of blood. I was living full-time as a man, but I used to dress androgynously. I had long hair, and I'd wear tight jeans and pink t-shirts and shirts and stuff like that. And it happened while I was standing at my counter, and I was alone in the store. I was doing some work. I was alone in the store, and he came in, and that's what happened. And then at the hospital is when they told me that he hit me 3 times and most likely was trying to kill me. I couldn't figure out why, because I was pretty passive and God-fearing and didn't do any violence to others. But I then realized it was because of the way I looked. So it was a hate crime. The second hate crime, luckily, was avoided because of prayer. But every night for about 6 weeks after that happened, for 6 nights after that happened, I took a kitchen knife and I had it in my car, actually under the seat of my car, and I would go out every night praying that I would find this guy at night and kill him, because that's what people were recommending, that I take out my revenge somehow. And I would go to drug rehab centers where I thought he might be, because I thought it was maybe a drug-induced crime, but actually it was a hate crime because of my being transgender. So one night when I got close to seeing a pile of people coming out of a drug rehab center about 200 feet away, I pulled my car over, thinking that was my last chance to get out of the situation. I put both of my hands on the wheel. I put my head to my hands. I started praying very deeply. And then within about 45 seconds or a minute, here comes a big rush of, like an explosion, through the windshield. It felt like a wave at Jones Beach. There was so much energy. It came through the windshield. It knocked my head against the headrest. And with it came a rush of forgiveness and positive energy, which I've had to this day. So that was the silver lining in my brush with a hate crime. In another story, I'll tell you about what happened physically and mentally as a result of that.